look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable.
Welcome back to the Life Plot Podcast with your host, Mario Benitez. This podcast is sponsored by Cola Champagne. Go get you some of that. Yo, shout out Goodo. Man, I hope everybody's fucking chilling and illin'. I'm doing the same, man. Just making it by, going day by day. Trying to enjoy the journey. New York City's fucking coming back, which is fucking awesome. Comedy just came back, which is fucking sick as fuck, man. I'm happy to start trying to go out there again and, you know, finally fill up rooms to full capacity because it's 30 fucking %. It's gonna be sick. But yeah, man, super fucking happy about the way things are fucking looking right now for New York City. We were hit really hard with this whole shit. So seeing some sense of normality on the fucking on the horizon is fucking awesome, you know. Today's guest is a homie of mine who's an animator and comedian, Sean Newman. He's one half of the Frog Boys. They've both been on the podcast before, him and Jesse. But this fucking episode is going to be me and Sean rocking out, talking about a couple different things. I brought him on just to catch up because I know it would be fucking interesting. And I know we just dive into certain subjects and try to make it funny, you know, which I think we possibly did. I'm not sure. You tell me. But yeah, thank you for returning. And this is Sean Newman. I don't know why when I was young, I kind of had that difference in my head that this is bullshit. Like, even with, like, religion and shit, I was like, why is there so many? Like,
so even as a kid, you still, like, you liked Conspiracies just out of, like...
Just because it was interesting.
Just because it was, like, silly and fun.
It was super fun. I think that's why most people like them. And it makes so much easier sense of everything to say, yeah, reptiles run things than learning how bills are passed or anything.
Well, isn't that, like, a whole part of it? It's like people don't know how to, like, compartmentalize, like, what the fuck just happened. So they pretty much just come up with something that would make sense, but not really on some deeper human level, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's the easier way to go about it. And then I don't know when I realized it was just fucking bullshit. Like, I kind of just, I don't know how it happened to me, but I was like, man, this is all this shit is the same. Mm-hmm. And then like what is it, Scientology? I was like, man, this is definitely bullshit.
That's real.
I was
That's
like,
real. What are you talking about?
This is definitely 1000% caca. And I'm like, oh, this is all just motherfuckers trying to make sense of different things.
Well, that's like the crazy part of Scientology too, right? Like, someone has to sit there and go, like, all those other ideas, those are wrong.
Yeah, this is the one.
This is it, though.
Yeah, that shit is like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the cockiness, thinking that you got it figured out.
But isn't that every religion in a way?
Yeah.
Every religion kind of has that, like, well,
I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm right, you're wrong, because if I'm wrong, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
There probably is a God out there like, man, I don't do none of that shit. Yeah, I just let
I don't know what the fuck these guys
I just let the system run, bro. Like,
this is us on auto.
Yeah. I wrote the code and you guys are on your own, man.
Yeah.
It probably is like that. That's my idea of God.
That's your idea of God? Is
an
autopilot God who just like, look, man, I put in the programming, we're good.
Yeah, because everything is so fine-tuned, you know? And, like, once you get into, like, the science part of it and you start learning about fucking, you know, you just... different fucking how things work on the atomic level and shit. And it's like,
I mean that's your area of expertise, really. When we get to the
no expertise at all. I'm just interested in that shit. Is so foreign to me that it's like that shit is like I don't even think the guys who study it understand it. Like,
well, that's
like,
that's the thing with science is though. Like, I always did terrible in science as a kid, like terrible, but I always had the respect for them. You know what I mean? There was always a respect level, but like for me, it was like, I don't know, the air is here because it's here. Like, I don't know, but at the same time, there's always a reverence and a respect for those kind of guys. You know?
Yeah, because you know they're the ones diving into different fields really intensely, like and shit that you ain't gonna ever do. Like,
and that's why, that's why now when people are like, you know, getting their information from a plumber about science, nothing against plumbers.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude,
it doesn't make sense.
This isn't your guy. Like, it's the same thing when it comes to like I'm not asking a foot doctor about what I should do with
your heart.
With my heart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a doctor. But in this, in today's day and age, everyone's like, yeah, you're a doctor, so that means you know everything about anything ever. Like,
it's fucking. That's such a weird way to think about things, man. Because it's just an example. Even if you go to doctors, you wouldn't go to the same one for the same thing.
No.
And it's like, oh, you think this motherfucker who is a mechanic
knows
about fucking Chinese government?
Well, that's every like hot topic of American discourse, if you will. Like every hot topic, out of nowhere, everybody and their mother is the biggest expert on that topic that you've ever seen in your life. Like, regardless of what it is, if it was a shooting, now everybody knows every in and out law of the gun control thing, of how it all works.
It's just over flooded with bullshit, to be honest.
That's the truth.
People don't really understand what's going on completely.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, it's the hot topic. It's the button that everybody wants to press.
What's the button of the week? Let me insert myself in there.
Yeah.
Because I know what's up. And it's like,
that's why I don't like people.
It's just exhausting.
I like to speak on a lot of shit, right?
We all do. We're comics, so I understand I'm part of the problem a little bit.
Yeah, but I also know that I don't know a lot of shit.
Right.
And I feel like that's like something that when you take time to learn about different subjects, you start learning more that, I don't know nothing.
Right.
Right. Like,
which I'd rather hear somebody say, hey, I don't know what's going on here, than bullshit me some idea that is not even remotely what it is.
Yeah, like, I gotta look into it. Like, nobody says that, though.
Right. No, this is what it is.
Yeah, people want to give you that bullshit, fucking bullshit thoughts. Well, most of my thoughts are bullshit, too, so what can I say?
So welcome to the cast, everybody. Welcome to the cast.
Welcome back to the
bullshit thoughts.
Bullshit thoughts with Mario and Sean. My thoughts just be running, man. How have you been throughout this time, man? Because I haven't spoken to you.
Yeah,
I mean, we did hang out.
We did.
We kind of broke the COVID rules.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't say we broke the COVID rules. I would say we broke our COVID virginities with each other.
Yeah.
We did that.
Now, we went to hang out at, what was that?
Lake George.
Lake George, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember all those cars that were around and shit?
Oh, where to start on that? There's so much to unpack there. Like, man, I want to really try to think where to set that one up from. Because, like, all right, so it's the middle of the COVID shit, and we're going away. And it's you, our mutual friend Shudo, and myself. And so for the one day, we kind of just, like, bullshit, and we're filming a terrible sketch that should never be seen by anybody.
It was fun to do, though.
It was fun to do, which sometimes you got to realize, hey, that was fun for us. Maybe no one else should see that. But, so we were shooting that thing like all day on Saturday, and then we were like, all right, let's go down to the let's go down to the lake. Let's get something to eat. And that's where it became one of the funniest situations ever. It's like, because it's during COVID time, and we jump into the back of that guy's minivan.
Yeah.
And he's got, we're
all from, I forgot about that,
the New York area, so like we're used to wearing the mask and doing the whole thing. So like we get in the guy's car.
And dude is in the car smoking cigarettes. He's a cab driver. I forgot about that.
Driving cab, no fucks given. Like, you guys don't care, right? We're like, okay.
You guys are cool with me smoking, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
you guys
already smoking.
Dragon Force?
Like, that's what he put on. He was
put
like,
on Dragon Force.
You guys like metal? And to me, I do like metal. I love metal. But I was like, all right, what is he gonna put on? This motherfucker put on Dragon Force, right. And then he put it on like, yo, you heard Dragon Force? It's like, I was looking at that dude. Like,
then it got even funnier though. That was the funny thing about it, right? Because then, remember, like we're starting to get close to the lake, and now we can't go at a certain point. All the roads are cut off.
It was all cut off.
All the cars are cut off. So we're like, maybe you can go around that street. Like maybe you can go around that street. Like we don't know. And I remember the guy on dispatch was talking to the minivan driver, and he's like, yeah, well, you're going to have to tell those guys, they're going to have to walk around like everybody else.
Yeah, they got mad at us.
They got like that. I was like, hey, I didn't know. If I knew that's what it was, sure, let's do it. So once we finally get there, right, they drop us at that little drop-off point. That shit was so funny because we thought like, oh, we're just gonna walk to the lake, have a quiet little dinner. We're in the middle of
and
nowhere.
the whole town is outside just looking at
The
us.
entire town, like the town and the 5 other towns over, like just had this parade of not one mask. Like we were the
only
aliens.
ones. They were looking at us. Look at these liberal fucks right here.
Liberal fucks wearing these masks. Like,
and then Shudo's with us with his hair out. And then, this is the guy who ate the bat.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't say oh yeah to that.
Yeah.
But they might have been thinking.
No, they were. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
They definitely thought that
for sure. And yeah, like that was just so funny because like as we were walking through like just like the mass humanity there, and we hadn't seen that many people. I don't know about you, but I hadn't seen that many people in like
neither have I.
A long time. And like so, we got them all in the streets, like yelling, and
they
the cars
were
are peeling out.
They were drag racing, right?
Yeah, they were drag racing, so all these cars are peeling out, and like you got the Blue Lives Matter guys going in, and then the cop pulled over the one guy peeling out.
Oh, and he took off on them. Yeah, he was like Dukes of Hazzard type shit. Like.
But then all the people started booing the cops. I'm like, you really, you guys are gonna boo him?
Yeah,
Like,
they got Blue Lives Matter flags.
Yeah,
like,
while they're booing
them.
and shit. But yeah, that was so ridiculous. And I just remember me, like, when I'm in situations like that, I kind of go like fight or flight.
Yeah.
Like that's where I went. Like I don't know if you remember, like you and Shudo were like far back. And I was like just ahead, chugging through because I was just like, I just want to get the fuck out of here. Like,
this is weird.
I just gotta go. And like you and Shudo are like out of breath, like what the fuck, man? Like what is this guy doing?
It was fun though. I gotta say,
it was fun.
It was super fun just to like get away during that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was only a couple days, but
right.
But yeah, they were just in a different world at that time.
That was because.
And it's not even far from here. What is it, like 3 hours?
Yeah, like George, probably like 2.5, 3. Yeah. Somewhere in there.
And they were just living differently during the height of everybody over here being like super petrified.
Yeah, like that was just so insane to see. Like, I don't know, man.
There were some awesome cars though.
There were. Well, but like of all weekends, of course, we picked that weekend.
Yeah, the lake is shut down. How you shut down a lake? I don't even know you could do that.
But I remember too in the daytime we walked by and like it was kind of quaint. It was like an antique car show, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cute.
Yeah, there was supposed to. I guess because every year they have like a real deal legit car show there, right? It's like
I believe so.
Yeah, so I think it was canceled because of the whole COVID shit.
Right.
And then everybody just pulled up.
Yeah.
Dudes were all fucking jumping on their hoods, sliding across it.
It's a lifestyle, man. It's a lifestyle that.
It was fun to see, though.
It was interesting to see.
Yeah, especially at that time.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
That was the most exciting thing I've seen in a year, which is insane.
Right. Which is just so sad.
That and maybe a fight that I saw on the 6 train, 125th. That's like the two.
Yeah,
the two
it's
top
desperate
notch.
these days.
Yeah.
It's really like little moments are so big.
Those were like 2 fucking ticket events I would have paid for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time though.
Yeah.
I like doing shit like that, man. I used to do that all the time with all my other friends.
Yeah.
We like every year I used to go away to like one different state, and like me and all my friends I used to tour with from my old band days, be like 30 plus of us hanging out, and we'd rent cabins and shit.
That's what life's about. You know what I mean? It's just connecting with people and getting drunk and stupid.
And it's fun. Like I've been to Montana with the trip. I've been to fucking like deep in Minnesota, like really north.
What was the name of your band again?
Fatality.
Yeah. Guessing from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, that's what, me and my cousin were really big fans of that shit, so it just stuck. But
yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago though.
So when do you think the stand-up game's coming back? Like when?
Man, I think it's happening right now. You know, you see a lot of. I know it's gonna be a boom. Like all the open mics are starting to come back. Yeah. People are still doing shit. People kept doing shows throughout the whole winter. Like people were doing shows in like parks. Some people.
Yeah, that's just nothing but respect. Like I would love to watch a documentary on the comics who were really
a lot of people.
Hard during it.
A lot of people kept it going, man, and it was fucking awesome to see. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
And they just really stuck it out. Still doing open mics, or like the only thing me and my like friends did was a lot of Zoom shows.
Right. Which
we at one point, recent times, we're still doing them too. Like we do like 2 a month, but they were really fun, man. Like they started actually becoming like. I guess because we missed the interaction so much, but we started having like
actually a community, huh?
Yeah, we started having like over 50 guests. And,
oh, nice!
Like it got really good.
Wow!
And like people were actually watching and turning on their cameras, not being creeps, like joining along. So it felt okay, but I think it'll be back hopefully by in full force definitely by like the fall.
It's just so crazy to think about though too for me, even like when I would do sketch, even just over the years, like I was doing sketch comedy in like restaurants in suburban New Jersey, like where there wasn't comedy ever. Yeah, and like I would
hear people grilling in the back.
Yeah,
and shit.
exactly. And I would do things like during the live shows, like I don't know, just like offhand, like I would like grab somebody's plate or something like extra, like just something where it's like, whoa, he really just is going past the limit here. And like I think about that kind of humor now. It's like,
yeah, people
that's
get
a
the
violation.
fuck away from me, motherfucker.
That is a real fucking violation now.
You get into a super fight because of it. Like, you can't do any of it.
But even like sketch comedy, right? So like, you know, there's stand-ups around that are doing their thing, but it's like where's it, like, you know what I mean? There's no sketch COVID crew going around.
No.
I don't.
So a lot of pockets of comedy are done for. You could say like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like anything. Most industries took hits, you know.
Yeah. No, so, that's why I got lucky with the cartoons, man.
That's something that you were able to keep going, which is like
lucky.
That's good that you had that lane.
Yeah, everything else was shut off. It's like, well, I could keep doing one thing that's not going to make me kill myself. Great.
And it probably. Do you feel like maybe it helped?
Just from the perspective of myself, that's where I first think when you asked, did it help? It helped me, I'll tell you that. Like, yeah. Because when it was first all going down, I basically was saying to Jesse, who's the other co-creator of Frog Boys, I was saying with him, like, hey, I need something to work on. Like,
an outlet.
I need something. Because, like, we had, like, basically how our stuff works is, like, he'll draw characters, and then I basically animate and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, we didn't have any new characters, or he was working on the next thing that was coming out. You know what I mean? So I wasn't animating at that time, and I was like, look, I need to do something. So that was, in a weird way, that started reusing characters for us. That's kind of when we started reusing them and saying, like, all right, well, maybe we can take this character
what can we add on?
Bring them over here and put them over there. And, like, because most of the time...
Is that hard to do? If you're animating, like to transfer over.
I mean, it depends. Like, you know, we'll have.
Because you might need new animations for the joints.
Right, like certain. Yeah, exactly. So like, I would trouble Jesse because he's the illustrator, so I would trouble him for like a few more arm motions or something, but he's not drawing like a whole new character.
Not completely from scratch.
Right. So that's basically like, because we had one called Uncle Sam versus COVID-19, and that was literally during like the height of it. I was like, look, I just need something to work on. Let's go. Try to talk about this any way we can, you know.
You guys got into something interesting that I thought was good for the time with the lunch break. You did like a series of what? 4 of them? 5 of them?
It was 3 legitimate episodes, and then we did like a behind the scenes, and we had like a little trailer.
And you kind of, I imagine you did that because of the time, right? Like how everybody was so polarized.
Oh yeah, that was one of those things. Yeah, it was, the world was so polarized. We were like, all right, let's take construction worker, scientist, polar opposites, put them on a bench. You know,
have them talk it out.
They are what you think they are, and they're going to talk it out, and they're going to have a friendship, and that's what we thought was, you know, kind of heartwarming in this world where everybody's attacking each other just over what you believe. You know?
Yeah, I mean? It's too polarized. Like,
right.
That's something cool that I feel like I always wondered about all artists, like were throughout the centuries. You know, motherfuckers drawing in caves, in hieroglyphics and shit. I imagine they try to use their art to filter their experience, but I also wonder what a portion of it is imagination, you know? Like, is there always, like, for you doing cartoons, is there, like, do you have to be on the time, or are you just, what's that proportion you're dropping out?
I'd say it's a mix for us. Like, we kind of do, you know, some of the time, and then some just absurd. Like, because for me, I'm a fan of like those old sketch shows like Monty Python and stuff. Yeah. Like, I love stuff that like you can watch in 20 years from now and be like, that's amazing. So we try to have a fair balance between
things that aren't too attached to like pop culture. And,
right. Well, but we have our fair share, and the way the internet seems to be going these days is if you reference pop culture, you're gonna get more views because people go, oh, I noticed that thing. I've seen this thing you're talking about. I'll give you a chance. That's literally how it is. That's literally what it is. Where, you know, hey,
I think more people get like their up to date like news of the world through
podcast and through like
Yeah.
through entertainment,
Right.
not through just like picking up a book or really. I know I do too, but podcasts put me onto a lot of shit that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
No,
man.
I think it's really interesting for all the art that was made during this weird time too, like because it's a time capsule, right? It's a time capsule. Like one day we'll be gone, but this time capsule, what this weird time is like, will still be there. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had like I was writing still throughout this whole time like jokes and stuff, and it would be I got to kind of try them, but even when I was doing like Zoom shows, I didn't want to just throw out all new shit,
Right.
because it felt like if I bomb, I'm at home now. It is like it's new, nobody, not a lot, and don't get me wrong, it's happened. I've bombed in this exact seat doing a Zoom show, and then I gotta go to my room by myself and just be sad. Like, damn, I fucking stuck in my own house, yeah.
But with Zooms, right? Because I did a few Zooms, wasn't really a big fan of them. Were people like turning on their mics to laugh?
That we made sure that we tried to get at least a comfortable community with our shows. Right. We actually ended up from the beginning to like the more recent ones. We ended up having a lot of return audience members, so they felt comfortable, and we weren't being too harsh when we were the hosts like Lee Valentin, or if it was Jerron or Stewie'ville, like all my boys when they would host and shit. They weren't being too mean, so people would feel comfortable turning it on. We even had some family sitting down watching us, and it's like, I'm about to talk about fucking being diabetic and shit, or fucking my druggy uncles and shit.
See, I think the Zoom open mics would just like kind of upset me in a way, and that's what the Zooms were kind of doing to me, to be honest. Like when we would have like groups of friends jumping on
regular
Zoom,
open mics will upset.
That'll upset. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like
that's
if you go practice shit, no comics giving a fuck about you.
Even if you practice this shit, other comics don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, it's true. So it's like
they're just looking at their material and seeing like
on Zoom it's even worse. But at least you don't gotta go out and wait for a couple hours. I think Zoom should stick around even when it comes back for open mics, because you could set up everybody. It's like a good community. You don't gotta travel.
But is it the same as like bombing? Is bombing on a Zoom the same as bombing in front of a room when you took all the time to go there and everything? Like,
I think it feels less. It's not as bad, to be honest.
On a Zoom, I'd imagine.
Yeah, on a Zoom. You're home already, and it's an open mic. It's not a show. It's not. You're in front of other comics.
Right.
You get to practice shit. I think that shit should definitely stick around.
Yeah.
Not for shows. Or maybe
like a workshop. I think it'd be good for workshops. Workshops.
Come in, just try nothing but new shit.
Right.
And
because if I did like 5 Zoom open mics, and then someone was like, "Hey, tomorrow you're gonna do a set," I'd be like, "I don't know if I'm really ready."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not the same.
It's not the same energy. Nah,
no.
not at all. I miss that in person, dude. I haven't done a show in front of people since August.
Well, yeah,
July.
I want to say I saw a clip of you doing like a COVID set.
Yeah, I did one at the Tiny Cupboard in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Mallory Bryant booked me on it. Awesome comic. And that was fucking fun. But that was like one time that I did it throughout this whole... And I had a great time, though. And I feel like I did really well for not doing it for so long.
So, are you thinking about pursuing the... jumping back in, even as this is doing its weird little COVID transition?
I'm like a chunky diabetic boy, so I'm waiting until I get my second COVID shot.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I am gonna jump back into it because it's an outlet that I miss, man. And I felt like I was opening doors when I was doing it.
I was seeing them open, man. I was seeing them open right for you, man.
And I was like, it was sad to me because I was like. But it's sad to everybody,
Right, we're all going through it, and it's, in a way, obviously, it's all comparative, right? Like, it's sad to us because I can't perform on a stage. Someone's like, I lost my whole family, fuck off.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
imagine
it could
that.
always be worse. It could always be worse, but, it's definitely made us more grateful as performers.
I think now, shows, bro, the audience members are going to be in it. I don't know how long it's going to last until motherfuckers start wanting to shit on you for telling a bad joke. Well,
it'll be like that thing in New York, after 9/11, right? Where everybody was like really friendly.
Everybody
or
loved
whatever,
everybody.
for like that like month or two.
Yeah,
and then
that shit was like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, okay, 2 weeks.
Then motherfuckers
Yeah.
started beating each other up again.
Right. But there was that first 2 weeks where everyone was like, oh hey, how's it going? Hey, how are ya?
Everybody was real deal.
Yeah.
New Yorkers, like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, fuck the Taliban, man. Everybody together, you know? Like, yo, everybody just saw each other. Yeah, fuck those fucking tallywhackers. Like, yo, like, everybody was on it. It sucks that it takes something like that to get people to really fuck with each other.
And then there's this situation, which I'm sure I'm not the first one to say this kind of shit, but, like, it's sad that it's like this situation happened, and instead of, like, we're going to help each other out, it was like, we're gonna call everybody pieces of shit and divide everybody more and more and
even
more.
worse.
Like it's just.
And I understand it. Like when you face, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting more like kumbaya. I don't know what the fuck wars. I don't want to say spiritual, but I'm starting to understand like other sides to things now. Like I don't even blame people for like which if you ask me, maybe it is a dumb belief. But I don't even blame it no more because we all come from like so many different backgrounds.
Right. How did that information get to you? What were you brought up to believe? Exactly.
Nature, nurture.
Right.
Like we're all fucking products of bullshit mostly.
Yeah.
Like and even if you even see motherfuckers that got good lives and they're still fucking psychos.
Right.
And it's because the human condition is just bound to hit that, you know?
Right.
So I'm starting to feel like it doesn't bother me as much.
I'm kind of getting there with you. Like I don't know, because I'm trying to think about it because it's like I have empathy for them now.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to come across like I have empathy for you, like because I'm better. Like I'm not trying to come from that perspective.
It's just understanding.
Right.
It's more of a. I guess openness to understanding.
Right.
You know, instead of being just like seeing anybody as opposition.
Right.
Because that's where everybody usually is now, and it's like it's kind of corny.
Right.
It's
like
who the fuck are you, my man? Like you ain't
I was coming up the other day, and I don't know if I should throw it on the podcast, but I will. The other day, I was thinking about this weird idea of like, you know, the Beyonce song. It's like, girls, we're around the world.
Yeah.
It's a jam. I'm gonna give it to the jam, but I was just thinking like how funny of a bit it would be if like you just keep getting more and more hyper specific about who is running the world.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's like little girls, we're on the world, and like you know, it just gets more and more hyper specific.
Super specific.
Yeah, it's like little girls who are left-handed, we're on the, and then it's like, but wait, I'm not left-handed. And
senators who are left-handed,
right?
little
Who
girls.
are also liberal, who are also it's like the point being like it just the divisions just get so insane. It just gets to such a point, and it's not to all praise to Queen Bey. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, where does it end? Where does it stop? Like, we're just going to keep dividing everything up and dividing, and it's just like, it's tribal.
And it doesn't really exist in your life.
Right.
Like, I don't know anybody who's living under that. Like,
right.
like in your real world,
right.
That shit, like...
I think about that shit all the time. The person who's, like, on their phone tweeting about, like, the fall of society and da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yes, I'd like a number 5, please.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
but, yo, you know what pissed me off? That I saw during motherfucker storming the Capitol?
Yeah.
I saw an interview with a militia dude, right? Who was talking about all the good... First of all, they said they were interviewing him in his summer house. So that means he got 2 houses. And then this motherfucker was drinking, like, a nice, like, champagne... He was chilling in his summer house.
Right.
It was like sunny outside. He's like, yeah, they're coming for my guns and but and I'm looking at him like, yo, my man, you are chilling the fuck out right now.
Right.
Who's stressing you? Right. You hear birds chirping in the background.
It's all the information he's given. That's what it is.
But I'm like, your reality is not that.
Right.
You got 2 houses, Papa. Like my man, I got half a room. Like, yo, it's like, and I'm not stressing out that much.
Right. Well, again, you know what it is too, and I've thought about this a lot. Where it's regional, and I've heard a lot of other comics talk about this kind of thing too. The idea of like somebody from Indiana is tweeting and getting to an argument with someone in Manhattan, and chances are your lives are very different. Chances are you run into very different types of people day in, day out. You know what I mean? Your day-to-day is just different. It's just...
Yeah, no, it's totally different.
You're not going to have a similar experience at all. So if, like, all one person gets in rural, I'm not trying to pick on Indiana, but any old place, you might not see the full picture because you don't have somebody who looks like what they're talking about on the TV.
Exactly.
For miles and miles and miles.
That's like all
the
the northern states bitching about the border.
Right.
Like, y'all got no Mexicans over there.
I mean,
Like, yo, yeah, what do y'all... I get that you should... It's a concern, but like, yo, y'all don't got nobody coming from Mexico over there, man. Like...
It's understandable that it's more of an issue for Texas.
Yeah,
It's more of an issue for them. Right.
Exactly.
But
So,
then, right, it comes down to everything, right? Like, women's rights issues and all that. It's like, again, it comes down to women. Like, why are y'all trying to...
yeah,
What's that?
It's so... Even talking about this, like, you ever get, like, nervous to talk about certain shit now?
Of course, you hear it in my voice.
Yeah.
You hear me dancing
That's
around
gotta
it.
suck for you, because you're, like, a straight white dude.
I'm a very Caucasian. Yeah.
So, you're gonna get canceled for everything. And you
Just
make
that statement alone, very Caucasian male, I'm done.
And they're coming for cartoon motherfuckers now. Yo, Dr. Seuss
I mean, hey.
is getting canceled. To me, I'm like, okay, I get it, but the books they canceled, first of all, nobody even read them.
Right.
Those are the Dr. Seuss, like, B-sides. Like, motherfucker, he wrote that shit when he was out to practice. He wasn't even a doctor no more. He was fucking
Well, I don't know.
Mr. Seuss.
I wonder about that kind of stuff when that happens, right? Like, so they drop a few books, and then the PR comes out, right? And that's what I wonder. Why weren't they just dropping the books, and then it's like quietly they're dropped?
Yeah.
Why is it they're dropped, and then the PR comes out, and everybody wants to talk about it, and it's now the topic of discussion? That's the part of me that's like, maybe there are some weird factors at play here. Like, I'm not going down the conspiracy lane, but I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And I'm sure it boosted sales somehow to other books, or to those books that were still on shelves somewhere.
Right.
Like, oh, we got to get this.
Somewhere there's like...
Yeah,
this conservative dude just like, yeah, load them up, load the truck.
This is the only books I'm reading to my children.
Yeah.
It's fucking... Yeah, but they going after everybody. Who else was...
no, that's true.
Other cartoons like Speedy Gonzalez and shit. And like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
or like Pepe Le Pew. Like
that one's kind of weird, but I get all of them and I don't. You know,
this is the thing about Pepe Le Pew though, and I'm gonna say this from my understanding is that I never looked at Pepe Le Pew like, yo, that's the man.
No.
He was supposed to be a skunk. He was supposed to stink.
He was the Quagmire of the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the weirdo, the aggressive, because he's a dirty skunk. Like,
but you know, I could understand someone saying, "Well, my kid shouldn't have to see a Quagmire," you know. But like, but honestly, I've been like low key watching Rocko's Modern Life again.
Oh, dude, Rocko's Modern Life has so much shit.
The greatest show ever.
Dude, they had adult content, bro.
That's why I'm like, this still holds up, and I'm thoroughly entertained now.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I do think about like children's programming now, and it is dumbed down. Like, it is dumbed down. Like, because, hey man, if you did half of the shit they did in Rocko's Modern Life in these kids' cartoons now, like,
I remember they had an episode with what was it, Heifer?
That's my guy.
That his family was pigs, right?
What was it? Heifer? No, his family was wolves.
Wolves, yes. Yeah. The wolves, they were eating cheeseburgers. And he's eating them. I don't remember how it goes, but all I remember was that episode being like, yo, this is deep, because like he starts realizing that, oh shit, I'm eating my people. With these wolves. And it's like,
yeah, no, it's stuff that actually makes you think more. And I think that's important as a kid. Like, I'm watching it back and I'm like, this is my sense of humor. Like, this show just made my sense of humor.
Yeah, no, dude, that's what I grew up with. Fucking. Yeah. And it's weird to go back. Like, once you start combing through all art and the artists, most artists got something fucked up, bro.
Why else are they doing this? Like,
yo, I'm not a perfect motherfucker, bro. I've been into... If you want to talk about just fighting, I've done some fucked up shit. I've been in fucked up shit.
Oh, yeah? Let's go. Let's hear about that.
No, I've been in some real fucked up shit. This is shit that people just don't
serious.
know.
I'd love to hear.
People talk to me now, and they were like, oh, shit, like, I am totally different. I grew the fuck up.
Right.
I changed.
You evolve.
Yeah. Like, you can't talk to me when I'm 17, 18, 19, when I'm doing dumb shit, running with people that'll fucking cut your face, or just grimy shit, you know?
Yeah, last and one fight I got in, I was below the age of 20. I'll tell you that. I was below the age of 20.
Did you win or did you lose? I've lost many fights, by the way.
I think I kind of lost.
Yeah, you pulled each other's shirts and shit.
No, actually, all right. I'll do a really quick version of it. Really, really quick. So basically, I was in Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh, you got beat up by a German dude?
I got beat up by a.
You got beat up by the SS?
That's kind of what I was calling him while it was happening.
You got beat up by fucking the Third Reich, bro.
I think so, because he had a baton. He pulled that baton out. He meant business.
He really was a Third Reich
He meant
motherfucker.
business. Yeah,
Why did it pop off though?
It's actually hilariously stupid. It's so dumb, right? So like, and granted, I was drunk at the time, and I was underage in America standards. So going overseas, you're like, oh, I could drink. So I'm drinking more than I should have, and I walk past, in politically correct terms, a whorehouse.
Okay.
I don't think that's the politically correct term.
Sex worker's house.
Worker's house.
Sex worker's mansion.
Village. So I'm walking past, and this guy is trying to get me into the place. He's like, hey, come on in, man, come on in, blah, blah, blah. He could tell I'm American. I probably have like a cap on or whatever. So he's like, hey, come on in, come on in. I'm like, no, man, I'm good. And I keep walking. And then he goes, well, fuck you. And I like look back at him.
That's already fucking funny though.
And no, it is already funny. And yo, honestly, the stupidest part though is like I look back and I'm like, I'm gonna let it slide. So me and my boy Mike, we walk all the way back to our hostel. My hand is on the doorknob to go into the hostel, to go inside. And I go, you know what? I'm sick of letting people like that boss me around my whole life.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta say something to that guy. So in the latest reaction of all time ever.
Were you drunk or something?
Oh, I was drunk.
All right, yeah. That's that drunk thought. Like, I gotta check this motherfucker.
Yeah, or else everyone's gonna walk on me for the rest of my life.
Don't you know who won the war, motherfucker?
Yeah. So I walk back like 15 minutes later, and I'm like, what'd you say?
He's like, who the fuck
in the Fugazi, terrible, what'd you say? And the guy was just like, fuck you! So I kind of flip him one of these, like, huh? Like kind of like a Larry David arm shrug.
Yeah.
And he took that as like that. This was my attack move, and so he pushes me into a sign. I hit back into the sign, and what my friend Mike refers to as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo meets Mortal Kombat. I come up and I uppercut this guy.
Oh, you gave him the Shoryuken?
I gave him the Shoryuken, but the Shaggy version, And basically, when that happens, homeboy pulls out the baton. And no mercy. So me and Mike are getting hit left and right. And basically, for the so who won, who lost, I don't know. But
yeah,
for the
he used a weapon though. So
he used a weapon.
I give you more props for that.
But he won in the sense that for the rest of the trip, when I was carrying my bags, like it hurt. Like it hurt.
Nah, he gave you the.
He gave me because he got me right here. He got me like right on the arm. He got me right where picking shit up and doing stuff.
Oh man.
So yeah, I think he won. On that one. But it was like the closest I felt to being in like Grand Theft Auto, because I'm not even gonna lie, the people who were inside working, when they heard all this fuss, started like running outside and like calling for whatever the German word for police is. Maybe it's like Polizei or something, like Polizei or whatever it was. And we just booked it. Like we're just like,
yeah, you don't want to get fucking locked up.
We're not going to international
yeah.
prison, no sir.
And you got baton, and then the cops are gonna come baton your other arm and shit. Like, yeah, you good with that one. Like,
all right, now your fight story. I mean, shit.
I've got too many. The funniest one I ever got into though, and I just think because it was me trying to be better at the time. I was out. That's
every fight. That's every male posturing.
But it was like me trying to change. I was trying to turn the corner.
Yeah.
And I was really drunk downtown with some friends and shit. And I come out this bar. I knew the girl who worked there, so she used to always hook us up. Like, we would just give her tip money, and it would be like free. We would get trashed there. So we're all fucking super wasted. I had like 2 Long Island iced teas, fucking another shot, and like a beer. And that's already got me like, what the fuck am I doing? So I'm already in my head like, all right, I know I'm drunk. And I come out, right, and me and my friends were waiting to leave. So somebody's, I think, using the bathroom in the place. Anyway, we're waiting outside. My friend at the time, he asked this dude he had an absurdly big, like suitcase. It was gigantic. It looked like he kept dummies in there, like he was a ventriloquist or some shit. And my boy, for some reason, goes, "Hey man, what do you got in that case?" I don't know why he asked him this. And the guy goes, "What?"
He's gonna tell you.
Yeah, and the guy goes, "What?" He was like, no, what do you got in that case? That's a fucking huge case. But it was big. When I think about it, it's goofy as fuck because it was a big case. And he goes, the guy just tells him, yo, man, mind your fucking business. Which is the right response, right? And my boy, he goes, dude, what the fuck, man? I'm just asking. That's a huge case. And then the guy just got mad, pissed off, and got on my boy's face. And he was with another person. So I'm there, and I'm like, and he's just getting too aggressive, right, over this case. So finally, I'm with my other friend Gabe at the time, and I'm like, the guy's getting so aggressive that I asked my boy Gabe, because I'm like, yo, I really want to knock this dude out right now.
Yeah.
But I know I'm drunk. I'm trying to turn the page, so I'm asking Gabe, like, yo, would I be wrong if I got into a fight with this guy right now? Because I don't want to do it if it's like unjust. And then Gabe is like, nah, don't do it. I'm like, all right. So they start getting into a serious argument.
Wow.
And then my boy Gabe, out of nowhere, he goes, nah, you could do it now. He
gave you the go-ahead. Never give your drunk friend a go-ahead. That's the truth.
Oh, shit. It makes me laugh because Gabe, at the time, even till today, he's a more sensible one. So I felt like...
Right, if he's saying
saying yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So I just go, fuck this man. I go up to the dude, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, dog? He's like, what? And I just snuff him. Boom! And dude, I hit him hard, and he went nowhere. And I hit him hard. So then I get into a fight with him, and then his friend tries to get in between. So I piece up his friend, and like, yo, these dudes they weren't even that big, but they just were like, they just ate my shots, but I beat them the fuck up. And it was just me fighting.
Wow.
And then,
I mean, you're making yourself sound like you're Bruce Lee in this moment. You have you versus 3?
Two guys. But I was really able to dish it out, but I didn't drop him or nothing.
See, that was probably from maybe your metal experience might have had you ready for that.
Nah, I think I've been into a lot of fights. I've gotten beaten the fuck up before too, though. I've gotten beaten up I've grew up having fights like where from having beef with people from different project buildings and shit. Right. And like now,
so it's way beyond that.
We're gonna link up, and now we got the whole fucking crowd watching us, and we're in between, and we got to shoot a 1D. And I've gotten beaten up in those situations.
Wow, whole crowd.
And I've also won. Yeah. I've also won fights in those situations. Man. And I can't fight, by the way.
Nah, but that just shows like your shit was such a more real experience. Like the one situation I almost had like that in my life, like the kid shows up with like his bike chain at like a basketball court, and like everyone's there, and like most of the people had my back and were just kind of like, "You guys aren't fighting. All right, see you later." Like it was just stupid. Like it's not, what you were going through at all. Like
but that wasn't even like. So there was like different moments in my life with violence and shit. Yeah. So I came from growing up more in the 1Ds or I've been jumped before into, which is you ever been jumped?
Knock on wood, I don't believe so.
I'm not proud of this, but I was laughing the other day talking to Gabe once again, my friend. And I've been jumped 4 times in my life.
Jeez.
And like stomped out, which is fucking hilarious.
Just with no regard, no like you walked on someone else's block who like you knew or nothing, just...
No, I mean, I knew the problem was going to happen with a couple of them, but, it just, I got caught in it.
Damn.
So, but getting stomped out. I laugh at it now because I was alright.
Oh, yeah, you weren't laughing then. No, sir.
But just the idea of motherfuckers kicking you with Timbs and shit. I remember one time I got stopped.
In unison.
Dude, I remember I got hit. I got kicked. This was like when I was maybe like 23. At the beer garden in Queens. I got into a big brawl. Spot, I got into a huge brawl there, bro. And then
really?
the dude I got into a fight with was a fucking tank, bro.
Did you have a bad set at QED?
Nah. I wish it was that. Nah, it was just some bullshit. But, bro, I remember I got stomped and, like... So, basically, we picked a fight, and it was a few of us, and we got into a fight. We got into a fight with 2 different cliques. So, it was just, like... Just in the chaos of it, it sprung. So there was just so much more of them than us. And anyway, we did pretty well, but I get sucker punched. I dropped, and dudes start stomping me out. And somebody caught me with like a kick. that for days it left a skid mark on half my face. And my boy at my old job was like, "Yo, you like Two-Face right now, bro." Like, yo, Harvey Dent right here, bro. And I had in one glass, one of my glasses lens was broken.
Oh.
Yeah, but those are like goofy ass.
Were people throwing each other into tables and shit? That's when I feel bad. I feel bad for the restaurants at those points. I'm like, man.
This was outside of it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
a little better.
I have it outside.
A little better. Yeah. I always feel bad for the restaurants. It's like someone's gonna be like mopping that later on.
Yeah,
Be
the worker
"You
like,
fucking
God damn, not
douchebags."
again.
Yeah. Like, it's Wednesday, guys. Come on.
I never. Yo, that's a terrible feeling. If I had to work and clean up after a fucking dumb rumble,
For a brawl.
like those fights that be happening like McDonald's and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you see mad smoothies getting thrown and shit.
I've never cleaned up after like an immediate brawl, but I have cleaned up after somebody died once. Isn't that kind of insane?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I would do like remediation work, so like it was a lot of like you would go into like fires and floods and this kind of stuff, and one of them was a lady literally. I don't know why I'm going this dark, but I'm already in it. This lady literally bled through her entire apartment down through the apartment downstairs through the outlet. Through the outlet. Someone was sitting in their apartment just looking at their outlet and seeing like
blood coming out.
That is the freakiest.
That's some horror
shit.
movie
That
shit.
is horror movie shit. But yeah, that was some shit like that I cleaned up, but I never cleaned up like immediate post.
You were able to do it though? Like, you didn't feel weird?
I had on the full getup, the whole suit, the like, you know, I like.
That's one thing I don't like.
Boys.
I don't like. Oh yeah.
Intergalactic music video. You know? I had that look going for it, you know.
That fucking outbreak gear.
Yeah.
Nah, that's one thing I don't play with. I don't like anything with death, man.
Yeah, no, it's
weird.
It's the saddest part of life. Truly, right?
It is the guaranteed part of life, right?
Although there's some people who take a different mindset of it. That's the best part.
Yeah, you're getting to start over. Shut the fuck up, you fucking fake guru motherfucker.
That's when you get to just relax, man.
That's another thing I find with my personality now. Even though I'm really kumbaya, I think it's all bullshit too.
Yeah.
Like, I hate motherfuckers that just be fake peaceful. Like, I know they snap at probably the littlest shit.
Right.
And they're like, God, thankfully nobody had a camera on me.
Right.
They're like, motherfucking out of drying clothes or some shit, laundry.
Right. If there's like life coaches that are out there going like, what the fuck, like everybody else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when it's their session with you, they're ready to be like, no, you need to concentrate on the breathing.
You need to
concentrate on.
It's like something is gonna make you. What makes you? I want to know what makes you break.
Right.
Because that's the more interesting
Everybody's
part.
got something.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something.
What makes you punch a motherfucker in the face for having a big suitcase? Like, that's what I want to know about. Everybody got that. It's like, but you want to curve that.
Right.
But everybody got that. I don't think you could just be super peaceful, you know? There's so much stresses in life.
It's just tough because you want to be peaceful, but no one wants to be walked on, right? Like, that's the trouble that I have.
Turn the other cheek? Like, you only got you got 4 cheeks technically, you know what I mean? But
right, because you want to turn the other cheek, but you don't want to establish a pattern of somebody walking all over you, right?
I try for the most part to stay away from putting up like what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
And on social media, because I feel like, I mean, if you see me at certain comedy shows, sometimes I do talk about something if I could try to make it funny.
Right.
But I think that's different because I'm in the room.
Right.
You know. But you'll never see online on social media from me what I'm really going through.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really see like a Mario like, hey, I'm just out here grabbing a burger, or like,
or like anything. To me, I could do that more than put on if there's stuff going on like personally in my life with a relationship or health or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't really get into
like
that shit either. That's
some people overshare everything, bro.
Yeah.
And that shit is weird to me.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot.
You just overshare a fucking. Nobody gives a fuck, my man.
There's that Les Brown thing, right, where he's like, you know, I'm gonna butcher the phrase, but essentially the idea is like, your problems are just that. They're your problems. Mm-hmm. Like, other people don't care. It's not.
They got their problems.
They got their problems. Yeah. Like, they're just happy that your problems are not their problems. You know what I mean? They're just happy it didn't happen to them.
You just can't put it out there because I imagine you feel worse. You put out like some real shit and nobody cares. Like they don't even care online, and then you ain't feeling like cared enough for in real life.
But see, that's where we're getting it all twisted, right? Like in this online expression equals my worth, and it's like no. It does not. Like,
no.
They are completely separate things.
I've talked about this before. It was with Shudo, actually.
Yeah.
I've talked about it before with him too. That I feel comfortable. I want to be comfortable walking in a room. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to be the dude in person. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the dude online. Like, right. I want to walk places and feel, and that's always been my thing. Like,
I don't want to walk in as an avatar.
Yes. Like, I want to walk in, it's me, and most of this room is probably going to be cool with me because it's him.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
it's like, but it's being the man in person.
I also think, and it could be because I joined the party too late and then was not active enough on Twitter, but I have to keep thinking about this on Twitter about, like, how Twitter funny is not real life funny.
No.
Like, when was the last time you were like flipping through that and were like, like?
No, it's
just like
it's like open mic to me, to be honest.
Oh, I heard you say that. Yeah, that's so true though.
Yeah, Twitter's an open mic to me. It's like there's a real structure there. People are trying to jot out like these well planned fucking phrases or sentences. I do it too, but that's what that's for.
Right.
That isn't for just being you. Like that shit is. I was talking to somebody else about this. I'm like, people, you could think you're the man in one thing, but you still be a fucking bitch. Like you could be a rich, whatever the fuck entrepreneur, and then you could talk to people, and you could have a sucky personality, and you fucking stink. Right. So you all this fancy shit over there, but you ain't shit, my man.
That's a funny thing to think about too, just in general, of like the corporate ladders of America, right? Like, to somebody, they're like, oh, that's like
the
Steve.
Socioeconomic status.
But like, that's Steve. He's like the head of like marketing and blah 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 blah. It's like, well, online at Starbucks, he's just another jackass. Like,
and he's a real jackass because he probably fucking skipped me. But I'm saying, like, if you're a dickhead in person, you're a fucking dick. Like, that doesn't just help you if you do something cool over there. You're still a fucking asshole. Right. Like, if you're a fucking famous movie star or whatever the fuck, just and everybody's kissing your ass, be cool in the room, because that's what matters. Like, he was a great he built the best socks or whatever the fuck. Like, his socks were world class. If you're a cunt in person, you're a fucking cunt, like.
But that's the unfortunate thing, though, in a way, like, for famous people. Like, I know poor guys, but like, the thing of like, all right, like, if you or I right now go to a restaurant, like, we can put in, whatever tip we want to put in. They're not going to give a shit. If you and I
people get an opinion about you.
Right. If you and I are Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep walking into that shit and we give them a $15 tip, it's going to be like, you wouldn't believe it, social media. Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep.
I mean, that is cheap as fuck, though. Yeah, Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, fuck out of here.
But that's my point. You know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be more amplified once you're on a certain level.
Definitely. More people are going to hear about it. But it still matters how you are in that room.
Right. But are famous people allowed to have bad days? Like, yeah. Like,
they're
you
people.
And I have had bad days, I'm sure, where we've told people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And if you just took a snapshot of us on that one day, you might think, that guy's an asshole. And it's like, no, he's not an asshole. He was just having a terrible day, and the people around him knew just the points to push him to.
Yeah, just that one. That's what blew up.
Just the points to push you to, because they knew you just enough to do it.
And bad shit always gets pushed harder than good shit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, nobody gives a fuck about anybody. It's like Bill Gates, right? Everybody, he's the devil giving you chips, and he's the one who created coronavirus and all this shit. But he does a lot of fucking good work for people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the shit on Bill Gates podcast. That's, you got to go a few more pod beans down for that one.
Yeah.
But it'll be there. No, it'll be there if you're looking for shit on Bill Gates hour.
Yeah.
Sure. There's an entire podcast probably just dedicated to shitting on Bill Gates.
And it's because he's absurdly fucking rich, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no doubt. But
you fucking running with $90 billion. Like,
people are gonna have some thoughts about you.
Yeah.
I have a few thoughts.
But even though I feel like Bill Gates should be more rich for what he's helped do than somebody like what's the motherfucker that runs the stocks and shit? He's got
so
Berkshire.
Oh, Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, like, yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
But you didn't help do anything for the world like Bill Gates did. Like
the thing,
he helped modernize the computer, which is like our phones. It led to everything.
I think the thing that is strange is when billionaires try to give everyday people advice.
Exactly.
Because it's like, I understand.
Especially if you're born into that money.
Right.
You better shut the fuck up about anybody else's life, my man. Like, that's why I hated Trump from the get.
Well, even Warren Buffett, just to go back for a hot second, right? Like, I dabble in stocks. I'm not mad.
I started to.
I'm not Jim Cramer in this bitch. I just dabble.
You're going to want to go for it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell anybody what they're trying to get or whatever. But I remember, and I wouldn't even want to go to the specific, but I remember Warren Buffett was pushing a specific commodity so hard, being like, if I was like, you know, in my 20s or whatever, I would buy this one tomorrow. Like, so I bought some of that shit, and like, I've only lost on it, and it's like, and it's not to say, who knows, it's the stock market.
Could come
Maybe
back.
in the long term it does go, and he's a genius again. But like, my point being, like, I don't got the same time to waste.
He's just doing mad old people shit. He said, "Yo, buy stocks and crackers, because
buy stocks and crackers."
Yeah, crackers and butter. That's all I eat now. So
yeah, for real. And it's like, I don't think your strategies would
line up to
mine.
a normal guy.
Right.
Somebody trying to come up and like.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
But I'm not a normal guy. I'm a weirdo.
I am too.
We are. We're in comedy. You're somewhat weird.
It
just comes with the fucking territory.
Yeah, they are we're all characters.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fucking got like super. We kind of got avatars, but that's us, which is fucked up.
We're living avatars. It's even worse.
That's what's fucked up about it. We're living avatars. People are like, yeah, but like I said, I don't know. I think that's like something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Like, you got to be the man in person. You got to be cool. Treat people right in person.
Right.
You know, even though I've talked about this mad times, but it's like even the shit virtual signaling online. Do something for people around you.
Right.
Help small. Do a fucking like when I started all my first.
Have you been cool to your neighbor?
Yeah. Like I used to do shit like my first shows that I used to do at this place called the West End Lounge. I used to always all shows were like different drives. For you to get in, you gotta fucking me and my friend Mike.
Or code or whatever.
Yeah, me and my friend Mike, who's a rapper, we would do shows that was like all just, bring a coat drives or a canned food drive. If you bring a certain amount of cans, you get in.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that is more helping than me typing, we should end world hunger.
Right. Good job.
Yeah. And I get it. You're supposed to spread the message, but do shit locally,
No, and when you see people that are like locally actually doing real shit, and they don't act like pompous about it.
No, and
those are the fucking people I fucking love those people.
And they don't want the super credit about it.
Right.
They're just doing it because they want to do it.
Right.
It's like that's the real deal shit.
Yeah.
Be the man in the room.
Right.
Always.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna end this shit there because that sounded like
the man in the room.
That's it, yo. Holla at your boy. This podcast is called "Be the Man in the Room."
Did I tell you anything about Frog Boys? I don't
No, we didn't even talk about that.
We talked about them.
We went to you getting beat up by the SS.
Getting beat up by the SS and violence and cancel culture shit. But that's
what are you guys working on now? What's the future?
The feature film?
The future. Yeah, the feature. The
feature Frog Boys film one day.
One for sure.
Hell yeah.
That's the goal.
I mean, goal is a series. That we want.
But I imagine a feature comes too.
Feature will come,
even if it comes because of the series.
Yeah, we're looking to get involved with a big name, and we have some management companies we've talked to that throwing some things out there. So we're just gonna keep plugging away.
Just keep doing it, man. Because you guys got good shit, and it's just two of y'all, which is insane. It
is pretty insane.
It's doing a lot of work, and you guys are like I said, good in the room.
Shit.
Like you ain't a fucking cunt,
Well, that's like the weird thing, though, right? Like I don't. You can stop me if I'm getting too ranty and we just want to end. But like the idea now of like the actor or comic or the TikTok artist who made 2 videos and blew up because they shake their booty. You know what I mean? Like we're entering a weird field now where it's like does this old guard shit of like we've performed and done all these venues, does it even mean anything anymore? Or is it just like, great, who gives a shit?
It does, because you could, it's like, this is going to be the title of this podcast, because you could be the man in the room. Now, if you do all that shit online, when you walk in a room with 100, 200, 300 people there to see you, you ain't going to know how to be like that. We've done shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's always about being in your reality.
Right.
It's like, don't fucking, the virtual world, yeah, promote yourself, but be the person in the room. Be the man or woman in the room. By be the man, I mean woman too, you know what I mean? I don't mean to put genders on it and this shit, but...
Canceled.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Nah, that's it, man.
Yeah,
where can people catch you, bro?
Frogboys.com, youtube.com/frogboys. And again, boys is with a Z. B-O-Y-Z, Frogboys.
You gotta have the Z in there, bro.
And then Instagram and TikTok, we're frog_boys. With a Z.
Don't forget the underscore.
Don't forget the underscore.
Yo, Sean, thank you for doing this, man.
Respect, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for listening. That was Sean Newman. Peace.
I look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable. You know what I mean,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes. The question, really, I guess I'm trying to get at is.